Hello YouTubers, Thomas Mason here, and I've got another tutorial for you guys. It's just a quick tutorial on how to make a rusty ball in Blender. So without further ado, let's jump into a new scene in Blender. So open up a new scene in Blender. So if you're new in Blender, and if I do a key combination that you don't know, just look down here and it'll show you what I've typed, like right there. Just so, anyways. Open up a new scene in Blender, delete the default cube by pressing X, and hit Shift A to open the menu and select plane from the mesh options, and then create another mesh and make it a UV sphere. So bring up the side menu by hitting N on your keyboard, and make the Z location 1. So now it's right on top of the plane that we just made. So if you switch from perspective to orthographic by hitting 5 on your numpad, then hit 3 on your numpad for side view, you can see if you zoom up real close, you can see it's just resting on top of our plane. So, by the way, if you click on this, you won't be able to see the plane since it's a perfect plane, and perfect planes don't have any thickness. So, anyways. And then click on your ball and hit Control 2, and that is a key combination for adding a subsurf modifier with 2 subdivisions. So as you can see, it simply gives it more subdivisions. So let's position the camera where we want it. Just grab the camera, pull it over, and rotate it, and then go into camera view and hit G to grab, and then hit Shift F to go to camera fly, and just kind of, if you move your mouse back and forth, it'll fly the camera around. And if you scroll on your scroll wheel, don't do it too much though, because it'll go into infinity. Just scroll on your scroll wheel and it'll go back and forth. So I like to use that sometimes. And select your plane and scale it up on the x-axis. So just hit SX, and we might want to scale it up on the y-axis a bit too. Oops. Scale. There you go. All right. Let's put the camera down a little bit more. No, I'm gonna put it up a little. Just position the camera so it's in a good place. Anyways, go on to top view and rotate your plane a little bit so that it's in line, and scale it on the x-axis until the corners are out of the edges of the camera view. So, anyways, click on your sphere and hit smooth. So now you have a smooth sphere, obviously. Anyways, now for materialing. If you hit new, then it'll give you a new material, and we're gonna actually give it a texture, not a material. But before you give it a texture, you always have to give it a material. So hit material, then just go into the texture panel and hit new. Go into the drop down menu, hit image or movie, open, and I actually downloaded this texture from oops. I downloaded this texture from cgtextures.com. So but you have to make an account. So you might be able to find a similar image. This one's called Rust Mixed 0077. So I'm just gonna click on that. And first thing I'm gonna do is hit sphere in the projection. So before it was projecting as flat, but I'm hitting sphere so that when you give a texture onto a sphere, it has to pretty much wrap around the sphere. So, anyways, now if we render it by hitting F12, you can see it looks pretty terrible right now. So we gotta fix that. Pretty much just click on the light if you haven't already deleted it, and go to the lamp panel, and hit area. So this is an area lamp. I'm going to drag it over a little bit, rotate it, scroll down, and if you have the latest version of Blender, which is 2.69, it'll automatically set to rectangle, but I'm going to set it to square instead and make the size 2. So as you can see, there's a little square lamp right there. I'm going to actually drag it down a bit too. Just position it so it's okay. And I'm going to change the distance down to 5 and see what that looks like. The energy down to 0.8. And I'm just going to render it and see what it looks like. Now, as you can see, it's obviously way too bright. So, oh yeah. So, if we render this, there are a bunch of problems, but the two main problems, if you have a good eye, the two main problems you'll see, first thing would be that it's way too shiny, because rusty balls are usually not that shiny. Actually, they're hardly shiny at all, and it's not 3D at all. It's completely smooth, because rust usually has like little flaking like metal bits and stuff on it. So we're gonna have to fix that. So there's an easy way to do that. Just click on the material panel after you click on the ball, and turn the specular intensity, not the diffuse intensity, because the diffuse turns down, makes it so it's actually darker. But turn the specular intensity down to about 0.05, and that should be good. Just not too shiny, but shiny enough that it doesn't look fake. Because if it's not shiny at all, look what it looks like. It's terrible. So I'll have to turn that intensity to 0.5. Sorry, 0.05. And then we need to get the lighting right. So I'm gonna make the distance 3. See how that looks. And it's looking okay. So, but as you can see, there's a huge shadow on the other side. I mean, shadows are good, but I don't want the whole other side to be a shadow. So I'm going to take this, hit Shift D to duplicate it, right click so it stays in its place, rotate it by 90 degrees by hitting R90, enter. So it's already rotated 90 degrees. And then hit G and grab it and pull it around. So now you just made 2 lamps. But this lamp, I want it to be energy, a distance of 2 and an energy of 0.7. See how that looks. And it looks okay. But there's a seam right here you can see. So I'm going to rotate this. Never mind. I'm going to rotate it by about, I don't know, 80 degrees maybe. And as you can see, it's fixed our problem, but I'm going to rotate it back a little bit. It's pretty much fixed our problem, because I want this this big splotch here to stay here. So yeah, but the camera angle I'm noticing is kind of bad, so I need to change that. So I'm going to change the camera angle, and it's fixed a little bit, I guess. Oops. This is the wrong place. Okay. Anyways, we need to give the plane. Well, no, let's work on the ball right now. So go to the texture panel, and so we can see what we're looking at. Hit both. So it's texture, material, or both. I like to just select both so I can see both my texture and material. And we need to fix this 3D problem. So it's not 3D at all right now. Let's see. No, that doesn't work. So it's not 3D at all right now. So if you scroll down to Influence, the Influence tab, and go down to Geometry, and check Normal. Normal Geometry. And then right here, it has it on 1 right now. I want to give it a 0.5 factor amount. So as you can see, it's given a little bit of a 3D. It makes it more 3D. So, but if I can show you it better if I put it all the way up to 5, and it just looks terrible because it's like so 3D. And there's a bunch of that shadows and stuff. So yeah, we'll just leave it at about 0.5. You can play with that until it looks right, but I like it at 0.5 because it's a little bit bumpy, but not too bumpy. So it looks okay. Anyways, click on the plane, and we'll have to give this material. Material first, always material first. And then plane, sorry, image or movie, open, and I just have a bunch of textures that I've downloaded from cgtextures.com. This one, you have to make it, like I said before, you have to make an account, but you can also find similar images on Google Images. So I'm going to hit Metal Bear 0154-1. I'm going to open it, and I'm going to go down to mapping on the texture panel and hit UV. So I'm going to go to top view, split this view, or by the way, to hide this toolbar, just hit T, and split this view, and select on the page menu, select UV image editor. And I'm gonna delete this image because that's just the last image that I rendered. And I'm gonna click in this Dropbox menu right here and hit Metal Bear 0154-1. Now, as you can see, it came up. Let's see. Yeah, that's kind of a grungy picture. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Anyways, just if you go into edit mode by hitting tab, and then hit U, unwrap, and this should appear right here. And I'm going to click these two vertices by holding on Shift and drag it on the x-axis. And I just finished UV unwrapping it. All you have to do is just make it pretty much the same shape as this. So just hide that, and let's just see what it looks like. So it's looking okay, like I said before. I'm actually going to make it look a little bit more high quality, I'm going to actually, never mind. I'll just leave it the way it is. But why isn't it? Oh, right. Okay. Just go to the world panel, and the sky color, I'm gonna make it sort of almost black, and then the zenith color, I'm gonna make it sort of a really dark blue color. And I'm gonna hit blend sky. So it's doing a blend sky right now, which is basically blue on top, black on the bottom. I'm actually gonna make it a little bit more black. So yeah, it looks okay. And there's a little bit too much light right now, so I'm going to go to the light panel and hit energy 0.5. Now on this one, it's gonna be energy 0.4, and see what that looks like. And it looks a lot darker. So yeah, we're pretty much finished. I'm trying to see if there's anything else I need to do. If you wanted to make it look really nice, you could select your ball, go into edit mode, hit O to bring up your proportional editing options, hit random, and then click on a bunch of hit shift to or hold down shift to select, and just select a bunch of random vertices all around, and to make it look even more real, like, because right now it just kind of looks fake because the middle part looks bumpy, but the edges don't look bumpy. So you could just select all these random vertices, and then you could scale, and it kind of crinkles the ball a little bit, and see what it looks like. And as you can see, it looks a lot better. Or you could scale outward. That would also work. It would make it kind of more wrinkled. So there you have it, guys. Soon I might be coming out with another quick tip tutorial. This one was a little bit longer than I wanted it to be, but it turned out okay. But yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the like button. No wait, right there. The like button right there. And I'll see you next time.